Hello, Baloo, and welcome! Today is my favorite episode of November, at least so far. Today we're gonna make a shirt. You know, just like we did in October, but except this time it's a mermaid shirt. So I wanted to include this bit where I'm just trying out to figure out where the pieces are gonna go and how I'm gonna draw them there. As you can see, I'm like, okay, this bit goes there and what goes where, and it just doesn't fit like I expected it to, and yeah, I end up changing it a lot. You can even see my finger tapping because I'm so confused as to what to do. But yes, I'm trying to draw something and it doesn't really work out, so I'm turning it around. This was a really big design, and yeah, it's not easy making such a big design. I think I ended up taking like an hour or so, or even more maybe, just making this. And let me just say, don't use newspaper, it doesn't work, it's gonna fold, it's gonna do all sorts of weird, stupid things, so don't do it. I actually have to change it in the middle, so yeah, don't use that. I just thought maybe I could waste less paper just using that, but it didn't work, so now I'm warning you to don't do it. And here you can see I'm just making I was about to say scales, but I don't think that's what it calls. It's called that's me just thinking about what it's called, but I think you know what I mean. We're just gonna call them the fishy scales. I think they're called scales, aren't they? I'm so confused. Every time I have to speak English, it's like, what? Well, I know, I talked about it in the last video too. But yeah, here I am just putting things together, making it look awesome. I, again, love this project. I mean, I was actually really angry when we did it because everything just kept messing up and stuff like that. But again, it turned out really, really awesome, and I think sometimes the end product is really important. You can see I'm cutting and then I'm like, maybe I should cut the other bit in just a second. You can see it's already messing up down here. I'm not very good at cutting with such big scissors, so my sister actually ends up cutting most of this project. But I'm just cutting a little bit. And yeah, this video is sped up more than usual, so you could comment if you like it or not. I mean, some bits are at least. And yeah, now soon I'm gonna realize that this newspaper thing does not work. You know, because if you use one layer, it's too thin and the paint might go through. But if you use two, it's gonna, you know, maybe fold wrong or something like that. So it's too complicated. Just use paper, or at least something thicker than newspaper. Maybe some, I was supposed to say commercials, but that's not what it's called. Like magazines? Is that the word? Probably is. Here we go! Making a mermaid tail on my shirt. And of course it's gonna be pink and blue, or blue and pink. Oh my god, I remind myself of the Sleeping Beauty complex. You know, is it gonna be pink or is it gonna be blue? Which version is the correct one? I think she looks nice in both. I think the real one should be purple. I wouldn't mind green either. Isn't the last fairy green? Maybe I don't remember correctly. But yeah, what are we gonna talk about today? The video is really long. I don't know, let's talk about mermaids, because it makes sense, I guess. So I'm really curious, do any of you believe in mermaids? I think it's so funny because a lot of people are like, I don't believe in mermaids, I don't believe in witches, I don't believe in fairies, etc, etc. I think everything is sort of real. And by sort of real, I mean real in some way. And no, that's a weird thing to say. And now you're probably like, oh my god, do you believe in Santa? And I'm like, I mean, I sort of do. I believe there was a guy who delivered presents to children and he created a legend. So yeah, I guess I do. Do I believe he comes out every year? No. But I do believe he has existed. And that's good enough for me. And when it comes to mermaids, you know, I think the ocean is, or I don't think, I know the ocean is huge and a lot of it is undiscovered. And you know, I don't see why it couldn't have fish that have human-like qualities. You know, dolphins are a lot of like humans, but what if they looked more like humans? Not like with long flowy hair or, you know, pretty girls with fish tails. That's not the idea, but just, you know, resembling humans. I would call that a mermaid, so I do believe in mermaids. Why would I not? Here I am, just gonna make this ombre effect. I couldn't get the blue out on the plate, so I end up just taking it directly from the holder. And I'm really sorry about the focus. It's really hard to, you know, think about the project and really be focused on that, and at the same time, you know, be focused on the focusing on the camera. It's just too hard, so it doesn't work like that. And here we see we're just putting on all the things, and you know, it really takes a long time, but it's so worth it in the end. At least to me it is. Maybe you think it's the ugliest thing you've ever seen, who knows? I don't care, honestly. I like it, and that's the most important part to me. Oh my gosh, I'm about to panic. I see there's almost no battery on the camera. There's still a few minutes left of the video, so of course I'm gonna talk for as long as I can. Yeah, just trying to make the ombre effect. I'm gonna add some blue, of the light blue, I guess, and I am actually gonna cover that up because I want the dark blue to go up higher. So that's a spoiler. I think again you have to really focus on keeping the pieces down so you don't accidentally paint underneath. And again, the hardest bits was actually the fin of the tail. That's the scales. The scales were just like, well, I mean, it was hard, but definitely not as hard as the other bit. And the pink paint was actually brand new, but it was lumpy and yeah, it wasn't really that good, so I don't know what happened. It's no good. It's really mean, rude. I'm gonna be Stephanie from Full House. Just be like, rude. Oh, it's not rude, it's how rude. Yeah, it's a good show. I love good shows. Even the ones without mermaids in them. I'm gonna sound like such a fanatic. I don't mean to, I really don't. I just really do like magical creatures. You know, I could actually share a story. I think we have time. When I was a kid, I saw a fairy. Oh my god, what does that even mean? I mean, it's one of those things where I was a kid, so I don't know if it's like an altered memory, or if it was a dream, or if it's something that actually happened. I kind of like to imagine it happened, but I was really, really young. I was in the woods and we were looking for clues, I think, to find this big picnic basket full of candy. It was like in kindergarten, so I don't know, I've been 5 or so, not very old. And I sort of, well, I don't want to say got lost from the group, because obviously we were being watched probably, but I still think I sort of got a little bit away from them, and I kept seeing these pieces of toll you know, the fabric, the fancy fabric that you make tutus out of, and it was like on branches and stuff like that, and I thought it was part of the thing. And I saw this little lady, and when she saw me she smiled and then she ran away, and I'm fairly certain she was a fairy. At least, you know, that's my memory of her. You may think I'm crazy, but why not believe in magic? What's the point in not doing so? At least unless you're like a scientist. Maybe a scientist shouldn't believe in magic. I mean, you can feel free to. Why not? Science is sort of like magic, I guess. And here we are just painting the ends of the tails. As you can see, I'm really trying to hold down that piece of string, I almost want to call it. It's really, really, really tough. But again, the result is good, and that's all good. And yes, we're gonna cut in a second. You know why? Because the camera stopped recording. Yay! Just stopped recording randomly, and I didn't notice until a little while later. So you can see I've actually finished painting it with the blue on top. And here my sister will help me just to not have it fold on itself, so the design doesn't go in everywhere. That would be really sad. You can see we fold it out, and I'm gonna add some details in just a second. First I'm trying to remove the paper bits that went in between, but I think I decided it was too hard or too risky. So I ended up stopping. And here I am just adding an edge that turned out a little bit purple looking, because there was blue on the brush, and then that mixed with the pink that makes purple. And it's so pretty, look at that. Just adding some minor details, you know, to the bits I really want to, and just trying to make it look as good as possible. Doing my very, very best. Oh my gosh, a mermaid tail! Look at that! Ah. It's gonna pose for us in a second. Aren't you excited? Just like in a little while. I feel like I'm teasing something that isn't really exciting. Yeah, I got a little drop of paint on the thing, and I actually got really upset, but my sister ended up getting it removed just by using a sponge. So, you know, if it's not set, you can still get it removed. That's good. And look at that, that's the end result. I hope you liked it. Bye!